What if I told you that a mug's little LED halo and a Bluetooth app quietly rewired how the internet drinks coffee?
Welcome to Unboxed Origins. I'm Howie, your resident science geek and accidental trivia sponge.
And I'm Wyatt. I ask the big questions. Sometimes philosophical, often skeptical, always curious.
Today, we're digging into how did Ember's smart mug become TikTok's morning ritual? Okay, let's rewind to the very nerdy, very deliberate beginnings. Ember didn't arrive as a TikTok star overnight. It was engineered. The core idea is deceptively simple. People want their hot coffee to stay hot, not lukewarm, an hour into a Zoom call. That need intersected with improvements in battery chemistry, low-power heating elements, and Bluetooth control. Combine that with a minimalist ceramic design and an app that lets you set the exact drinking temperature, and you have a product that's both useful and oddly satisfying to watch. Early adopters, gadget lovers, design-conscious coffee drinkers, and people who own slightly too many kitchen tools were the first to embrace the mug because it solved a real, if niche, pain point. Ember's product evolution added fuel to the fire. The first-generation mugs focused on hardware, a heated cup, and a charging coaster. Subsequent generations improved battery life, heat transfer, and sealing for travel versions, while the app evolved from clunky to polished with presets and a clean UI. Meanwhile, Ember's marketing leaned into lifestyle, gift guides, partnerships with barista influencers, and placements in design-forward publications. Price was always a gatekeeper. This was not a $5 ceramic bargain. It was a premium object. But that exclusivity made it a perfect I treat myself, or I gift this to the person who has everything item. When remote work surged during the pandemic, people who formerly drank coffee cold at the kitchen counter now needed a long-lasting hot cup while wandering through back-to-back video calls. Product improvements, plus a cultural shift in where and how we drink beverages, turned a clever gadget into a legitimate solution for an expanding crowd. Now, let's zoom into content culture. TikTok loves a few things: ritual, sensory detail, and short, repeatable narratives, the I do this every morning format. Ember had all three: the tactile hum of a mug warming, the soft glow of an LED ring, and the visual of a coaster click made from micro theater. Creators started making quick clips: pour slow, Ember on, sip, luxuriant smile, freeze frame with the temperature overlay. Aesthetically, Ember's matte finishes and minimal logo photograph beautifully against plant-styled countertops and soft window light. And importantly, it's camera-friendly. No messy cords, a single light indicator, and a straightforward before-after story. When small creators started showing real-time demonstrations, "My coffee stays hot for 90 minutes," their audiences responded with curiosity and that now famous phrase, "TikTok made me buy it."
Aha! Here's the twist people keep missing. It wasn't the Bluetooth packet or the app's code that made Ember viral. It was the product's capacity to ritualize a mundane pause. Ember converted coffee into a brief, performative ceremony, a reliable, repeatable act that fits perfectly into a 15 to 60-second loop. The mug is silent theater, the soft LED, the cozy steam, the satisfied exhale. Those are emotional cues. TikTok's algorithm doesn't reward products for being clever. It rewards moments that create empathy and imitation. So creators weren't selling temperature control. They were selling a tiny shareable identity. The person who takes 2 minutes to care for their hot drink, even during a hectic morning. That identity is aspirational, easy to copy, and therefore contagious.
Following Wyatt's point, the cascade gets more interesting when commerce and creator economies step in. Micro-influencers with coffee-obsessed audiences began tagging Ember on unboxings and long-term reviews. Affiliate links, special codes, and the TikTok made me buy it headline fed conversion loops. Ember's presence in retail, curated displays in stores like Best Buy and specialty coffee shops, gave physical proof to online claims. Also, the product itself nudged content formats. Creators invented temperature tests, left on all morning challenges, and compare to my old mug videos. Each new format spawned dozens more, and platforms leaned into it. TikTok's For You feed loves replicable templates, so once a few videos performed well, the format propagated. What began as a niche tech gift transformed into a ritualized prop for remote work lifestyles and self-care aesthetics. The business side followed. More production runs, colorways, and a travel model that could sit on a desk as easily as it could on a commute. But it wasn't all smooth. Ember faced skeptics who mocked the price and the limits, battery life, occasional app quirks, and the philosophical question of whether keeping a drink at exact temperature is a necessity or a luxury. Rather than fight every complaint, the brand leaned into transparency and community. They listened to customer feedback, iterated designs, and highlighted authentic creator reviews rather than glossy celebrity placements. That authenticity is crucial on TikTok. Audiences can smell staged endorsement a mile away. So community builds trust, creators build the narrative, and the product becomes a prop for an aspirational routine. Precisely what we saw repeated across thousands of morning videos.
Aha! Another overlooked contradiction. Ember's very success depended on being almost invisible. The mug's tech had to disappear into a comforting ritual. If the heating element flashed like a sci-fi gadget, or the app interrupted the flow with constant alerts, it wouldn't become a calming ritual. It would be a disruptive toy. Instead, Ember's wins come from restraint. The LED is subtle. The UI is silent unless you choose otherwise. And the mug mimics a normal morning action with just enough extra polish to feel special. TikTok rewarded the subtlety. Creators love objects that help them tell a quiet story without stealing the scene. Ember didn't shout, it whispered. And whispered objects photograph and film very well.
When we stitch it all together, several forces conspired to push Ember from niche to ubiquitous. The technical feasibility of temperature control, design choices that favored photogenic simplicity, pandemic-era shifts to remote work and ritualization of home routines, creators hungry for replicable, sensory content, and a commerce ecosystem that turned views into purchases. The product's constraints, price, battery life, and a need for supportive app experience created a kind of quality control filter. Only people who genuinely wanted that ritual bought in, which then amplified the product's identity as a purposeful rather than gimmicky object.
So, why does it matter beyond being a neat case study? Because Ember shows how product design and content culture co-evolve. A product can be brilliant technically, but invisible socially. And conversely, a product can be shallowly viral, but collapse as a fad. Ember's case sits in the middle. It had enough utility to endure, and enough visual and emotional cues to spark imitation. For designers and founders, the lesson is clear. Design not just for functionality, but for narratability. For creators, it's a reminder that cultural rituals, however small, are incredibly valuable storytelling tools. For consumers, it shows how a tiny device can quietly reorganize a routine, and yes, make mornings a little more deliberate.
In short, Ember's journey into TikTok's morning ritual is a story of engineering meeting aesthetics meeting timing, and then being narrated by millions of tiny creators who turned mundane temperature control into a signature moment.
And for those of us slightly skeptical about every trending object, Ember's tale is a gentle nudge that not all viral things are frivolous. Some reconfigure habits in subtle, meaningful ways. The mug didn't just keep coffee warm, it kept a moment warm.
If you liked this deep dive into product, creator, and design moments, hit like, subscribe, and share so more little origin stories can get unboxed. So, what if a mug's little LED halo and a Bluetooth app quietly rewired how the internet drinks coffee?